Welcome to APK Studio, where we explore the world of university. I'm your host, Theophilus Bemba, and with me here today, we'll have the former president of the Sierra Leone Student Union Society in CRU. Can you please introduce yourself, Ma?
Hello, my name is Aminata Senior Shaif. I'm a fourth year pharmacy student, and I am the former president of the SLSU CIU.
All right. So, how was your day? Like, how's everything?
Okay. It was okay, cool.
Okay.
I mean, despite the weather, it was okay.
Cyprus weather is actually very cold right now. Like, I can see it from your gloves and all and everything. All right. So, in this talk show today, we're actually going to allow you, tell people out there, during your tenure, like what were the things you actually faced and everything like that. But we start with what inspired you to go into politics, school politics to be specific?
My inspiration, actually, this whole inspiration starts from back home, my country, Sierra Leone.
Okay.
I wanted to run for the vice president of my commerce university.
Commerce.
Yeah.
What's commerce?
College of Medicine back home.
So that means you were actually attending university back home.
Yeah, I started,
Wow.
but I did not, continue.
Like,
So I wanted
what grade did you stop?
I was in my second year.
Oh, okay.
That was the second year, first semester.
Okay.
I wanted to run for the vice president of the student union, but I could not because I had to travel down here. So the all inspirations when I got here, the all inspiration started from seeing students, how creative they are, students facing financial difficulties, students having depressed. The island is already, we have this perception about the solar island too. And while they are on this, they are still being pushed, never giving up on their dreams, on what they are actually here to do, to study. And that constant drive in them actually inspired me to run for this position.
So that basically help
a certain batch of students. I mean, not prioritizing some students, but help a certain batch of students. With registration,
people that needed it more.
Exactly, with finances. Help, talk. Oh. And I think the other thing that inspired me is the leaders that came before me. Yeah, with jungling between academic work and students' demand, expectation. I mean, all that inspired me. I would say.
All right.
Yeah.
So, people would want to know out there what actually inspired you, like looking at your educational side and your political side, right, in the school. How were you able to balance all of these things? Like the studies, because obviously you being a president, I know you get couple calls from different places.
Asking about the challenges and everything.
Well, not necessarily challenges. How were you able to balance your studies with your position? How were you able to balance it?
It never gets easy, I promise you. balancing you having academic commitment, and you having leadership duties. It never gets easy.
Wow. So were you able to fulfill all these duties as a leader? Will people turn out there and say, Miss Senior did very well?
One thing I will certainly say is I was very, very effective with my timing. I disciplined my schedule. I made priorities.
Discipline.
What comes first, what comes second, needs and wants.
So, would you say you put the position first, or you put the educational
before
aspect first?
Before going for this position, I had this in mind that I was going for 1 year, and I was willing to sacrifice certain things, social life. I was willing to sacrifice love life. I was willing to sacrifice, even academics was on the line. Because I wanted it to be a success. So I was willing to sacrifice so many things. So I would say I mean, but it never gets easy juggling between because I'm a student myself,
Yeah.
and I have quizzes,
Things to do,
exams.
yeah.
You know, right? So
I know
it
you
never gets
missed a
easy.
couple quizzes, did you?
I promise you, attending meetings, you have lectures now, and you have to attend meeting. You know, it never gets easy. It's so challenging.
I know.
It's difficult.
Like I know, I can see it from the look. Like, yeah. So moving on. Obviously, starting your presidential career in school and all, like you had challenges, right? Like maybe with few people, maybe personal challenges and all. So like people out there would want to know what are some of these challenges you face, like going in for presidency. What are the challenges you face?
Personally,
Okay.
the challenges I face personally with, I had this thing about isolating myself. Yeah, and I had this thing about communication. First of all, I was a working project myself before going into the whole presidency thing. I was a working project. So I wanted to work on myself,
Okay.
improve my communication skills. I wanted to, explore the whole student
So
union policy.
saying improving your communication skills and all.
Man, my communication skills was at 20 if I will rate
Wow.
it. But after this
So
tenure,
after this tenure,
I would say it's like 90.
90.
Yeah, because it was one of my team and I, it was our key factor, communication. I wanted to
you saying your team and you, right? That means you work with people. It's obvious like you actually work with people.
Yeah, of course.
So like what would you say? Were these people instrumental to you?
Oh my god, they were awesome.
Wow.
They were wonderful.
Wow.
My
We'll give them an applause.
A round of applause.
We'll give them
My
an applause for
executives
that.
were the best anyone could ever ask for. They were there for me physically, emotionally, spiritually, and even financially, except for some.
Oh, okay.
But they were the best. They were my own people. So yeah.
So you felt like they were for you.
They were mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
too personal.
when you have this set of people that you call, this circle that you call your safe haven, my executive were my safe haven.
Wow.
I could discuss anything I want.
Wow. So you feel really confident in them.
Really confident.
Okay. So being a president, a former president, as we say, how did you advocate for students? Like you said, you saw certain set of students who didn't have fees to pay, who were very innovative, who were very creative, but like they didn't have people to push them. Instead, they were pushing themselves. So how did you advocate for them to the school to say?
Being the former president, one thing I was very, very keen about was student registration. Yeah, before coming into this whole presidency thing, I was part of the executive members for the former president.
Oh, so you have a lot of experience going in.
And the experience, I know where the lapses were. I think where she failed to cross the T's and dot the I's, I came in, I draft everything down. And I figured out that registration is one of the most challenging thing a student is facing here on the island. So advocating for them when that period comes was our key priority.
Right. So were you able to persuade the school?
Yeah,
for them to allow the students
we actually did registration a handful of students. Okay. Yeah, about a handful. Wow. So I can say we actually tried in that area.
So for you, I feel like all these are legacies you left behind.
Of course.
So would people look at those legacies and say, yeah, we really had a president. We really had somebody we called a president. Because it's not all about, there's a difference between being a president and be the president for the people.
For the people, yeah. Exactly.
You understand? Being a president, you can just be selfish to yourself.
Yes.
But were you the president for the people?
I would definitely say I was the president for the people.
Wow,
Because
that's a big
I
one.
promise you, over the past 2 years of me being here on this island, Sierra Leone students have not been participating that much on school activities.
Okay.
And if you rate it out of 10, I would say we have like 8 out of 10. If you rate, I would say we have like 8% or 80%, if I would say, of Sierra Leone students participating in this year's academic like school events, like chocolates of Christmas bazaar,
Oh,
comes to the spring festival. I mean, the participation was huge. So I would say students will remember me for the communication.
good
Because
communication.
every
Yeah.
little communication the school passed, it was accessible to students. Every little communication. So
So, what are basically some of the things like you did that were like social things you did for your people? Any social thing? Did you do anything social out there that people would have fun and did you?
Yeah, we did. My team and I, first of all, we came when we started this whole thing. We had SLSU CIU first ever event of its kind, which was the inauguration.
Wow.
That was the first.
Okay.
As far as I know, that was the first ever event of its kind based on SLSU CIU.
What's the SLSU? People
Sierra
want
Leone
to know.
Student Union and Cyprus International University.
Okay.
We have never had inauguration. So it was the first.
So you innovated the inauguration thing.
More like. And I would say when it comes to fun activities, I mean, we engaged in Christmas bazaar. We participated. We made our local snacks, local drinks back home. And I observed the previous years, other nationals used to do the same. We never did. And this year, we participated hugely on that Spring Festival. The costume, the Africans danced with for the Spring Festival in school, it was from Sierra Leone.
Wow.
My mom brought that costume.
So you actually picked it up from Sierra Leone?
Exactly.
Wow.
And
That's an upload for
and
you.
about the
upload.
another fun activity, we came up with a sports day before the
day.
independence.
Wow.
That was massive. It was fun.
Wow.
You know, we had to play our childhood games and stuff. I mean, it was cool.
What are some of this childhood game people
Balance
don't know?
ball.
Wow.
Toast me, I toast you.
Well, that's actually
Yeah.
fun. That's actually
It
fun.
was fun.
Like that's actually something people really expect from leaders.
Yeah.
Because like being just the president and the president for the people is really something like you need to devote yourself totally into. And so as a former president, right, what advice do you have for the now president? Because I heard there's a president now, right?
Yeah.
So like looking at all your legacies, looking at all how you say people love you and how you say people cherish you in the society, in the school, like what advice do you have for the now president? What steps do you think if she follows? Because right now you've created the path and a big footprint, right?
Yeah.
Wherein she needs to fill into that gap, right? And if you don't give her the proper advice, the proper things to do, she might tend to go off a bit. So what advice do you have for her?
I will. This is gonna be long though.
It's gonna be long, yeah.
First of all, the now president is she's the former president.
No, former.
So I feel I will put myself in her shoe right now. If I wanted to go for the second term,
Okay.
I know my lapses. I know what I's to dot. I know what T's to cross. I know where I know.
Just like how you were in
exactly.
the former executive, right?
Exactly. You
just
see, you
drop in.
learn, and you make progress.
Okay.
So I will not advise her much. The only thing I will tell her is build a strong team. Build a strong executive. Man, your ideas can get in the way, but you see your team, oh my God. And I will tell her to listen more often. As a leader, you have to listen. You listen, then you lead. You listen and you make decisions. And building your team more of very, very strong, it should not count based on familiarity, because I know this person normally say I for count in executives.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look from a distance, observe from a distance, and know what this person is capable of doing. Like pinpoint, okay, this person will be good for entertainment. Bring the person in your team. Build a strong circle in a way that when it comes to decision making, you can run to these people and be like, this and this and this is what's in the line. What should we do? What are we supposed to do? I mean, because you cannot form a cabinet, you cannot form an executive without listening to them. I mean, what are they there for? I mean, you should listen to them. Build a strong team. Listen, and you make decisions after.
All right, Miss Saminat Sesenia. This is where we're going to draw the curtains for today's show. Just a quick one. Do you have anything you want to say out to your people, to your executive, anybody out there?
Yeah. For the students, Sierra Leone student, in CIU precisely, I would say wherever you find yourself, in any setting, any environment, especially in a school, be informed, be updated about what is going on in school.
Okay.
Just be there. Don't be and stop self-sabotage, because that's one thing I realized from Sierra Leoneans. The ones I've had the opportunity, the chance to talk to one-on-one, they self-sabotage themselves. Whenever you see an opportunity is given to you, make use of it. If you want something and you want to advocate for something, go for it. No matter where you find yourself, no matter the circumstances you find yourself, just go for whatever thing you feel is okay for you. And stop self-sabotaging. You people, stop self-sabotaging yourself.
She's pressing on self-sabotaging.
Because it's too much. It's eating people up, I promise you.
Yeah,
And to my executives, I mean, you guys were awesome. You guys were wonderful. You guys were the best. I say thank you. I will never stop saying thank you to you. Thank you so much to SLSUCI Executive 2023-2024 academic year.
All right. Thank you so much. It was really fun having you,
You're welcome.
guest here. This is APK Studio, wherein we bring you everything from the universities around North Cyprus.